Whenever you're ready.
So yeah, I get it. So welcome. Good evening. It's 5:30. I'd like to welcome you to the February the 2nd Board of Architecture Review meeting. And first of all, would like to we need a vote. I think our chair had an emergency upstate, so I'll be she asked me to chair. Do my colleagues comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to welcome a new member, officially called an alternate member. And if you'd like to, so Christina Nemec has been in the park. Well, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell
Okay.
you a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my family and I moved to Tuxedo Park in 2022 after my husband has driven by for about 50 years along the corridor and seen those gates and always wondered what was behind. We're huge historic home lovers. We've always lived in them as old as the early 1700s. And we drove through the gates and we knew we were going to buy the second we came in. We bought the first house we saw and we probably will never leave. We love it. But I am really into historic preservation. Huge passion of mine, something that I spend a lot of time on boards like this doing. So I'm very excited to be here because this is like the gold standard of historic preservation in here. And I'm excited to get to be a part of keeping that special feeling you get when you drive through those gates going. You know, getting other people in future generations from mine, getting to have that same feeling that I have pulling through. So thank you for having
And
me.
you're on the board in the town, or?
I am on the planning board in the town of Tuxedo, and I am the chair of the preservation board in a little town called Thousand Island Park on the Canadian border in New York. And it's a historic district on a much less grand scale. Similar though.
Well, welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And the specifics of the alternate member is that
They fill in for any board member that's absent.
Mhm.
So we always have a voting quorum, or if possible, we always have 5 members for the board.
So, for example, with Stephanie missing tonight, Christina can actually participate and vote, or,
Yes.
but if Stephanie was here and we had the full quorum,
Christina could take part of the meeting, but she would not be able to vote.
okay, excellent, excellent. Well, with that, we'd like to start with the first applicant, the Maddens. I think everyone on Zoom. Good evening. And so it's just the property owner, Sean, you're representing, Jeff Gunderman, your contractors.
Yes, I think he's already spent some time with John.
Yes.
Great. So, could you tell us what your revised plan that just walk through that you originally you're going to paint and now you're going to do something more substantial, correct?
We're basically going to replace the shingles with natural, which I mean, we can't say this for sure, but I think that's what the original was. So it's basically removing, it's a yellow house. It has not been yellow in its entire existence, but we're basically going to remove all the existing trim and details, and install all new cedar siding to match the existing shakes and clapboard. All the cedar is going to be natural color. It will not be painted.
And the trim will be the same color as it is presently, the
Yes,
white.
it'll be the white. Yes.
And so the clapboard will replace clapboard, and the shingles replace shingles, and
Correct.
And all those wonderful decorative elements
All
that
will stay.
are all going to be restored and intact. And if the house looks, if you're not happy with the house with the natural siding with the natural color, would you go back to the yellow, or would you? I mean, it's a
Boy, that would be an expensive mistake.
right.
Um, we have a pretty large sample we've looked at up against the house. I think it's going to look great.
Right.
I'm not worried about having to go back. If that did happen, we might start from scratch and go to gray, which is what I think when the house was first painted is what it was. But I'm convinced this is going to be a terrific look.
Great. Do we have any questions or?
And so the cedar will just be left as it is so that it can mellow into a silver.
Yes.
Is that, yeah.
And it will age, differently depending on where
Sure.
in the house it is, right? And
Yeah.
some parts of the house get hit with weather and sun more than others. So, but yes, it'll be a very natural look, and I'm told it should last longer than me. Yes, exactly.
And all the neighbors were informed, and have there been any comments from the neighbors?
No, there's been no comments, and neighbors have all been notified.
Excellent. Well,
No questions here.
yeah, no, I think that this is great. Yeah, we're excited. You're giving love and attention and restoring the that beautiful house you have. So yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the we have it the sheet number or
64 Tower Hill Loop.
the 64 Tower Hill Loop for the Madden property for changing the house, replacing the house shingles with shingles and clapboard siding with the natural cedar. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Applicant, the second applicant.
So we can keep one, but I need.
Oh, sure. They're all the same. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. If you'd like to introduce yourselves for all our
Yes,
viewers at home.
Dhruv Singh, 37 Fox Hill. Happy to be back here post fire. The building was on fire last time I was here, but why don't you introduce yourself?
And Elizabeth Broderick, I've been project managing and helping with their renovation. I did the interior and now exterior.
And first of all, if you introduce yourself by Zoom as well. All right, here's Chris. I'll let you introduce yourself by Zoom as well. You're on mute, by the way.
I can't unmute them. Yes.
There you go.
Right, the screen kept on jumping back and forth, so I wasn't able to hit the button. Yes, this is Chris Papaleo of Treestone Architecture. I'm here with Dhruv and Liz, and to help out with any questions you may have.
Wonderful. Two folks who sent their regrets who've been involved with the project and involved with the complex. First, Randy Polkey, who's a designer, he's attended fire meetings. He'd also he's led all of our interior and kind of exterior decorating. And then Andrea Buckingham has advised on and is currently working on a full plan for the landscaping. But since it was so kind of minimal and a couple of things here and there were a couple of questions that were raised that I actually pinged her on and got some specific responses. So I can answer some questions.
Great. So if you'd like to just run us through briefly the project and the change since the last time.
Definitely. So we have we put forward in front of the board is a update to the current. There's a current deck which is on what we refer to as the annex side of the house, which is actually quite large. And just given the overall layout of the house, it kind of sits off and there's a portion of the house that has a deck, there's a portion that doesn't have a deck, it kind of looks more haphazard. We actually approached the BZA requesting a variance to allow us to build a deck from our family eating and the most important part about that other deck is it's nowhere near the family dining and eating area. So it doesn't allow for the lovely indoor outdoor just kind of feeling and lifestyle. With the BZA, we had a discussion about should we rip the old deck down and put the new deck up. Our request, which was then granted, was to not do that. One, because it's not bothering anybody, and why waste a structure that's historic to the house and serving a purpose. Second, it will just kind of trade one unusual looking deck off one appendage of the building for another. And there's actually just much more uniformity and continuity that comes from having a single deck that's kind of spanning and contiguous across the property. The BZA, as I mentioned earlier, did approve, in fact, that variance. It's been several months. No, take it back. It's been about a year since we've come back in front of the board because we had a fire that was a total loss, essentially rendered the interior a total loss. Everything is new inside the house except the exterior walls and the foundation and the weight-bearing walls. Wow. So that distracted us for the last 12 or so months. But we're now back. We moved in come early September. And now, winter upon us, it didn't make sense to start the project then, and we had some. We were now here to vote for the approval. The deck is consistent with the concept that was originally designed, now with fully detailed plans. What you'll see is detailed plans for the deck as I described it, an endless pool, which is a wave pool that allows for lap swimming. And the entire deck would be mahogany. The French doors that were also included in the plan are designed to mirror the aesthetic of the windows that are already in the house. They'll be painted the same color. It's designed to be seamless. And the locations of the doors are actually fit precisely to where windows already are. So from an exterior standpoint, you're essentially taking double windows, two pane windows in a single window, replacing it with two pane French doors in the exact same size space. Everything we've done from down to color selection to even the furniture we've chosen to have in the house. We're very my mother-in-law being a historical preservation architect in Kensington, which is actually a town of the same period. I have powers greater than I am ensuring that we're being very respectful to exactly what the house's intention was in its original style. So with that's the high level tee up, and would love to take any questions, guys.
You said the deck is as you this is with the BZA's approval?
Correct.
Okay.
And the beautiful mahogany material you're using for the deck, that's going to continue, right? Replacing the old one. So there's a continuous flow. The previous meeting we had a concern about the fencing, the barrier, the railing around it. That it was we were hoping that there would be a more architecturally compatible thing. I think with my personal opinion, with the mahogany uprights and the mahogany top and the wire doesn't bother me so much as it did before. If the wire is black, not metal, not the silvery metal. So is that something that you would?
So thank you by the way for raising that. I think what we did in the last couple of days. And I think Chris in particular, as to for one concept is something we're certainly just to put that out concept. And what I think the objective, which the reason why we were the rails in particular, was when you first walk into the home, you can essentially see straight out. And for us, it's less about the colors, more about what we could do to best move the sight of the rail. It's really what we're focused on. But I know, Chris, you were doing some work on that and had some thoughts.
Yeah. So with the railings and the wire in particular, it becomes transparent. So you can see through it much easier. to have that. To your particular question about the color of the wire being something else other than the stainless steel, number one, the stainless steel, it's very small. It's less than 1/8 of an inch in diameter. So it's almost completely transparent. It's not shimmery because it's a woven wire, so it doesn't have a real bright shimmery color. And to try and paint it, there would be a durability issue, I would think. And for that paint to actually adhere to the wire might be a little challenging. And we can't buy this wire, pre-made in other colors because it is a stainless material.
Okay, no, I think we're on the same page that we want it invisible. So if they're with those specifications and that thinness, I'm comfortable with that. But Mike, what are my colleagues comfortable with that? That was an issue beforehand.
Well, it's a departure from the historic nature of the house. I'll say that. It's a traditional house, very traditional, and this is a modern approach to it. So we should know that that's what it is. It's not historic to the home. But I think the detailing of the rail leaves me with some questions. It seems very kind of simplistic in a way. I don't know. It is also looking modern. I mean, are you going to finish the mahogany, or is it going to be allowed to silver? What are your plans for the finish?
We speak to the color. Finishing.
So my thought was that it could silver out over the years.
Oh, that's great. Because it's depicted with a very aggressive varnish.
Yeah, because it's new. I'll create a rendering 3 years from now, and you could see it turn.
I mean, I think that detail alone answers so many of both of my colleagues' concerns.
I mean, the aesthetics of if you when you enter your house, there's a beautiful portico which is fantastic with that copper molding at the top, and the square columns. I mean, that's the language that I see repeated with the square mahogany columns coming up. So I'm comfortable with that. The part that I'm not comfortable with is the area is not so visible. It's underneath the deck. There's a sort of like an entertaining area underneath the deck, and to allow light to access that, there's the small
Seating area?
the seating area underneath. There's a wall with a stone facade. That stone facade, to me, it speaks a completely different language from the house.
Totally, couldn't agree more. Yeah.
So I would recommend in that area that use the elements from the house. So use the yellow brick, and instead of these sort of not fluted but columns that are very arts and crafty, that taper towards the top, keep them absolutely the same proportions as the column at the front, so that it's square. And ideally brick, so it matches exactly the elements. They're brick, and there will be no worry about be disgusted or hiding it with vegetation. It can stand proud and be, obviously not part of the original house, but it'll speak the same language. But to have this rigid, verticality and squareness everywhere. Is what the house demands, and so that's what I would recommend there.
Makes sense. Chris, do you see challenges or any feedback on that? But I think it makes sense to me.
No, I think it makes sense. And just to go back to the stone, that was trying to take cues from the rest of the property with the stone. There was a couple stone walls on the property, but as far as matching the brick exactly, that might be a little bit of a challenge. We'll do our best to try to find a brick that complements the existing brick. But that's the only challenge I see is matching that brick.
I mean, our plan for this space, and this is where I actually reached out to Andrea. She wanted to plant Clethra hummingbird as the native shrub to be sitting right in front of this wall.
Mhm.
I think I personally prefer having, as you the way you described it with the square columns and the material. I like your point. Ensuring it, whether it's stone or brick, that it matches the home, I think is critical. Like, I don't want this standing out like some, new development that, has crisp concrete everywhere. Like that's just gonna look hideous. But I think I like the idea of whether it's stone or brick. I think we want to have it look old and not look new is critical. And I think, and regardless, it's, no matter what the materials, I just don't think it's going to look that good having a rising wall. So I think regardless of what material we do it in, which I think we should pick one that's older so it matches the rest of the house better than concrete would. But we should certainly be putting the Clethra hummingbird in front of it to ensure it's still minimizing the exposure of that wall.
And the sort of camouflaging effect that you're doing to hide the pool, that needs work with the landscaper to hide that, so it's not sticking out that you're obviously hiding something. It's just it doesn't draw your eye to it. And I was wondering whether that could be extended around, so it's very much there where the pool is, but this area is open.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason you wanted that open, or did you want to continue the trellising around that around the rest of this part here?
So the idea is to put actually this far wall, which you can't quite see in the rendering, actually have trellis as well.
Mhm.
So that's the side that's viewable from the main road in loosely, but it is somewhat viewable. This is the portion that's visible here from the main road. The reason we left this open, or just open to some degree, is it's actually very flat ground down there. And our thought was to leave it open as a play area for the kids.
Mhm.
I've got little kids, and just having like a perfectly flat, whether it's for hopscotch or for fort games or what have you. It's
That's
just
the space under the current deck.
exactly
right,
under the current deck. It's just a perfectly flat
Mhm.
space that we wanted to leave open. And from an aesthetic standpoint, because you can't really see it from any angle, that portion's only facing what's essentially the nature preserve. There's no real angle on it. But we would want to cover the far end, which you can see from the road, and obviously the portion here. Andrea had said a square, medium-sized trellis, not angled, not diamond, but square to mirror this kind of overall shape of the house. And that would also be, I'm forgetting the name of the plant that she.
The Virginia creeper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Virginia creeper.
Mhm. Along the trellis, planted along the base of the trellis around.
And the lighting, what lighting would you be planning for this?
Can you speak to that, Chris?
The lighting for the upper deck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my vision is to have sconces flanking the doors.
And the seating area, the pool. I saw there's LED lights in the pool that it comes with it. Any other lighting that you want to give us specs on?
Not at this time. I think once we have a landscaping plan, we'll likely be putting some lights out in the landscaping and like the broader lawn. But we're not looking at lighting.
So it seems there's a sort of lighting up the houses, and which is we're not so speaking personally, I'm not so in favor. With this dark sky initiative, and for wildlife, it's we don't like to sleep with lights on, and wildlife doesn't. So
I couldn't agree with you more.
yeah, so it's we
My
want.
mother-in-law would allow us to do up lights. She said it's not that we wanted to, but as we were thinking about it, we had a prior home, then this beautiful boulder in the back, and she said it throws off migration patterns, it disturbs animals. Like, do not do that. So
Yeah, no, you've got coyotes near you. They'll come and
bears too.
teach you a lesson.
Yeah, bears too.
No, that would be the specs on the doors. We have
The last page.
so there's the wooden frame and the oh there it is. The mountains of the metal and the actual the doors are all metal. Is that correct?
The doors are wood.
We switched to wood,
Switched to
yeah.
Oh, you switched to wood.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all wood with real muntins, or are they?
Can you
Yes,
speak to
they're-
that?
Yes, they're real muttons on both sides with a bar in the middle. So it's an insulated panel.
Any thoughts, comments from my colleagues?
Couldn't agree more on the tapering of those supports. Those should be rectilinear.
Right.
Is it 2 doors?
Three.
Great.
So it seems we're going in the right direction. With these small little details and improvements. What the next stage? Can we approve it pending these changes, or do we need a little bit more specs with the lighting and that sort of thing?
If they're coming back with the landscaping, could you include the lighting at that time?
We're hoping to start construction
But as far as,
on the deck. The lighting, correct. We do not need any
Yeah.
approval for lighting.
Yeah, we're not installing lighting now.
no, not as part of the deck.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. The lighting is not going to be installed, but that will be. Look forward to seeing you guys again around April timeframe. That's when we'll be coming back with a landscape. It was late March, early April. Is what Andrea's targeting. That's right.
Yeah,
So what do we need clarification on? Just the fact that the depiction of the railing is going to be left natural. It won't be read as presented in the photo.
I think on the last sheet that I emailed you, there were 3 color samples that are actually very different than, that image was more just to show the deck style and the railing, but then there were 3 stain colors that a color specialist gave to us. It may have left. Was in like this. It's not in.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
You have it available? Any chance of exchange? Also,
Oh, that's the pool.
Okay.
Um,
No, this is missing 2 pictures.
So we're the mahogany is going to be natural, and it'll weather naturally as opposed to being stained or.
Oh, it's in this.
Is it?
No, it's not. Okay. Lenore provided 3 stain colors, but if we leave it natural, we could come back if we want to stain it. I don't know how you want
That
to
makes
leave off
sense.
with that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Staining is
because
less
the
a
natural
concern
was
than
an
the
option
construction.
also. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the make of the door is, so we can reference that, is that being custom made? Is it?
I believe that's custom, right? Chris?
Yes, that's custom because the openings are not of a regular shape. And plus just the door fashion, it had to be custom. Yes, it's custom.
There are any other points or details? So I'd like to make a motion to approve the rear deck and pool for the Singh Residence, 37 Fox Hill Road, with Treestone Architecture and Construction Company Plan A-100 dated January 21, A-101, A-102, A-201, with the change of the stone veneer on the lower part be replaced with compatible yellow bricks that speak to the original bricks of the house, and the columns there the same brick in a square non-tapering fashion, and A301 with the wooden doors with the wooden mountains, and the E100 electrical plan, which is just. Sorry, what is
Those are showing the lights underneath the deck to the seating area below.
okay?
Yeah.
So so those ones we'll let's wait on until we have the next round with the landscaping and the full lighting plan.
Those aren't so much landscape lights though as
Well, we can approve if they're functional. I mean, yeah, we can approve
Yeah.
these ones, but so we can approve the one, the electric on E100, and so we will expect the landscaping plan with the electric
right,
plan and the sconces,
right.
and the mahogany will be natural and unstained for the uprights, the cross rail, and the supports. Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, unanimous. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing you with the landscaping plan. See you in a few weeks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure.
Applicant number 3, the Alvarez family, if you'd like to come up.
Hi, everyone.
Good evening, welcome.
Hello. Evening.
Hello.
No, I'm participating on this count. I'll be
Got
your,
this bigger.
I'll be your Hannah.
So welcome, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Karen, our landscape architect.
I did not. I got these from John.
I'm with her.
Great, if you'd like to tell us an update of this plan that work was done and variance was needed, the variance you've received.
Yes.
And the conditions of that variance require the roof of the extension be green, and so you've done what percentage? Roughly.
It's all green except for this one area that would be pavement, and that was what the BZA approved. I don't know
Right.
the exact, it's actually, this is just slightly
like-
less.
Right, so it's more than 3/4
Yeah,
of
oh,
the,
yeah.
of the,
80%.
and so that was the specifications of the variant BZA, and when you appeared to the bar beforehand to us, our desire was that we would like the vegetation there and then elsewhere to be one of the desires was to hide the walls that are very visible, the retaining walls of the house, and so could you walk us through now what
Yes,
you've
we
come up
have
with?
taller shrubs as well as weeping shrubs that are going to be hiding the walls.
So which shrubs?
Yeah, these are a hydrangea that grow fairly large, and then there's Deutzia that has a weeping habit.
Well, sort of getting back to the big picture, from my understanding, there's this. I wasn't expecting a whole landscaping like a new garden there, and it seems like there's new, I wasn't aware that it was flat. So I see that there's walls that there's 12 to 15 inches being extended to create a flatter area. Is that my understanding or?
No, it's basically staying the same. We just squared off some walls that were just a little odd shape. And then all these walls are staying as, there's one wall that we were raising slightly in order to make it more deer resistant, because we have a deer, the objective is to put a deer fence in we were gonna stop it here and raise the stone wall just a little so that they can't jump in.
Oh, and I see here, raise height of wall 12 to 18 inches to create more level yard.
Yeah.
So is this level at the moment or is not level?
No,
You're
it's
creating a
not.
wall.
We're
So
just
you are
adding
creating a wall.
Just a
No,
little
this is
tiny
level.
bit. Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
yard is,
This is level. It's actually down here, just a little piece.
It's just a little tiny piece.
This
to
piece
get it
is
higher.
slightly slanted. This is the piece that she's talking about. I think it's, you're talking like 20 feet of this
Yeah.
piece, not even this side. So everything else, so the only modification to the wall, Chris, would be right here. Is it even that? No, I think it's for just this much.
Just a little, just
Yeah.
to raise it a little bit, so.
Uh-huh. And if that's not acceptable, we can easily just put the deer fence. We're just trying to stop the deer fence from having to go all the way.
Okay, so it's for the deer fence.
Really
It's-
for the
it's
deer.
n- It's not, so this is level already, because
Yes.
so I wanted to come today, but with the snow, it, wasn't.
You wouldn't
it
easy.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have been,
you have
it
2
would have been
feet. You can
dangerous.
trudge through.
So, but yeah,
But this is all level as is today.
Mhm.
so I mean, this is, yeah, so it's, my concern is we want very Bruce Pricey in that the least disturbance to the land as possible, is what we'd like. And so that this very formal, which matches your house and is appropriate to your house, that generally when this sort of happens, there's other houses in the park where there's one area that's formal, and then as you further away you get from the house, it's less formal and integrates with the beautiful natural thing. So that's what we would hope, that keep this as formal as you like, but this area here, that it's not lines of of soldiers of things, that it's a little bit more naturalistic, and then the rest is just left natural and not
This will all be
intervened with.
natural. As a
Yep.
matter of fact, this slope right here, we're planting, it's already existing wildflowers, but we're adding to the wildflowers. And we're just letting it grow completely natural. So in this entire area. So we hear you 100%. So we could, if you would like, we could modify this, because honestly, we can't see it from the house because it's lower. We were just trying to find something that that can hide the wall as you had requested. Would you have some suggestions? We're happy to.
Well, I mean, basically, the mandate is to whatever looks natural. So from the lake, from the West Lake Road, looking up, do you see your house, and then that it's all those walls, these current walls, these big walls here that you don't see. So you don't see a sharp difference in a house that's clearly new because of these big foundations, whereas if it was just covered, then people would think, well, was that Pierre Laurelard's house? They could, think it's more, an older house and not brand new. So that was my thoughts on that.
If I can just add, one of the things, ever since we built the house, that whole area has been just very simple and flat grass. And I agree with you that actually that makes it look still new. And adding these flowers, I think, I love flowers, will finally enrich the space in a way that is appropriate for the house, in particular the formal piece, because I'm envisioning thousands of flowers in there. That's what Karen has promised. And I think will make it much more appealing to the eye than it looks now. But the area is completely flat. The elaborate pieces are simply designing the flowers and the garden in the way that we think would be appropriate.
Well, there's with gardens, there's two descriptions of gardens. There's pretty gardens, which with lots of flowers and things, and there's pretty functional gardens where they're not as showy, but you know, they bring so much to the table. They're like work colleagues that pull their weight instead of just sitting there pretty and looking, you know. So that's what, you know, flowers are like. So the unfortunately the native flowers aren't as glamorous as the you know the show-stopping ones. So there is a, you know, compromise, and as Doug Tallamy would say, that you know the native ones aren't so pretty, and the insects eat them, which is great. You know, it's part of the food chain, and if you don't like that, there's a 10-step process, and that you stand back 10 steps and then you don't see it. So we're just trying to make it, you know, we'd encourage you to make it as native species as possible, as naturalistic as possible. And the other thought that I had before I turn over to my colleagues is that it's just going to be a smorgasbord for the, you know, for the deer and everything. They're going to just, you know, send a blast email out to come and munch here. So the 6-foot deer fence, if it's on top of that wall and becomes 8 feet, maybe help. But if it's just 6 feet, it's not good.
It's also a very, it's the least visible one. I know it's been in the park in a lot of places where you have to put the white flags on the fence, and the deer can't see where it stops and starts, so they are more reluctant to jump it.
Okay.
So it's a special type of fence.
Because yeah, it's, I'm just saying, normally, you know, it's not normally we encourage.
Normally you need 8 feet.
Right, yeah. So we want, you know, what you're putting all this effort into this, that, you know, to protect.
Amra said she's gonna stand right here and protect her flowers. That's not my job.
But and the Alreuses really prefer to walk around on formal paths rather than on lawn because of the tick factor. So this was a design for them to be able to get out into their yard and appreciate the beauty of nature. But if you would like, Tamer, Amra and I talked about everything from here down. We're happy to choose native species.
That'd be great, yeah.
Yeah, and I can vary the heights so that to get rid
Make
of the
it as
linear
naturalistic as possible. So
look, not a problem.
And
That
the-
could be very easily done.
and the specs on the cast stone fountain base, is that something you're sourcing, or?
We haven't yet. It will be custom made. So we're gonna have to find, but it'll be something, probably, it won't be cast stone. It'll probably be marble or granite.
Comments?
I think a lot of care has gone into this, and it shows, and I think you guys have responded very thoughtfully to the concerns about the exposed wall, and so I'm all in favor of this.
Yes, thank you.
The stairs that are just west of the fountain. Is there any depiction on how, are they stairs? It looked like they're stairs. And are they being enlarged? What are they being made of?
They're the same.
Okay.
Was right from the survey.
Okay. And what do we want to do regarding the access path that goes to the back?
Oh, on this side.
Uh,
Yeah, oh, no, we're reclaiming that. We didn't show it here.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I can
But
show
yes,
it.
but that's all gonna be reclaimed.
Yeah, but we can show that as reclaimed.
Along the front of a house, along the wall, again, it's snowy, so you couldn't see it, but there were some white PVC pipes sticking up. Are they?
That's my fault. John told me to remove them before. I told my guys to do it. So as soon as the snow is gone, they will be gone, and we're
Okay.
filling in with concrete.
Okay.
It was.
And listen, if there's a plan for lights in the future, cut them flush and come back at that time, but I understand, but
They were for a fence. Remember when we went?
Yes.
We actually got approval for the fence, but you know, not everybody wanted the fence, so we decided not to do it.
Got it, fair enough, okay. So they're archaeological items.
That's right.
Any other?
No, I think it's an excellent solution.
Yeah. And the neighbors have been notified, and any comments?
they've all been notified. There's been no comments.
Great, okay. So yeah, we're all on the same page, and I think, you know, on the same wavelength. That with that you know, with that understanding of the, you know, the transition keep this as, you know, as beautiful as the, as you like it. And then the more natives and, for the, for our furry friends and insects, below. And one last point, the deer fence is, we just need the specs on that
Sure.
to let us know what this.
We'll put the specs right on the drawing.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? So I'd like to make a motion to vote for the El Reyes residence with the 50 Crow's Nest Road with the landscape master plan by Karen Arendt, landscape architect, sheet L1, dated December the 9th, 2025, with the amendment of the existing dirt access paths be reclaimed. The sheet L2, and this is the third sheet.
That's the green.
Oh, there we go.
This is the green roof.
And the green roof plan L3. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate
Stay
it.
warm.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Yes.
You're going to start tomorrow.
Well, I have to start tomorrow.
Sure. We wish.
We appreciate it, guys. Take care. Stay
Yes,
warm.
thank you.
Good night. I'd like to welcome applicant number 4, Yarrow family. Like to come up.
Okay, be in charge of the jury.
I was like.
First.
Yeah. Oh, we love these packets. Yeah, so this is something that we encourage to get a clear vision of what the house would like, and whether it's 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional. With the colors and everything, it makes the process so much easier for the clients and for us to see what you're getting. So it's made of white chocolate.
Sorry, be there in just a second.
Take your time.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Yes, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Jeffrey Small, the architect for Dana Tate Jarrow at 77 East Lake. We were here back in May. Since then, we sort of fleshed out the drawings, sent them out for pricing, suffered an extreme case of sticker shock, and went back to the drawing board. So this scheme is substantially different than the one presented in May. Just kind of go over the high points. Basically, the footprint of the house stays the same, so we're not adding anything to the footprint. This is the view of the front of the house. These are the existing elevations, and these are the proposed. The biggest move is really to basically just a roof out. The roof out here, and it over the kitchen, and construct two new dormers there to sort of capture the sort of floor area here. The existing dormers would stay. And the front porch would be rebuilt, and we'd be adding a pergola here. Here's a view of the other. So this roof goes away, and then the new roof kind of is extruded out. So that's basically how the massing of the project is going to work. In addition, we're planning on removing the existing siding, replacing it with shingles. The dormers would stay, but they'd be kind of they'd be freshened up, given a new life. We would be changing the materials and adding trim, basically. And the treatment of the dormers is really kind of springs from the existing slope of the roof and so on. It sort of lends itself to this treatment. All of the doors and windows will be replaced. And that's pretty much the high points. We've done I'll just back up, and there's a few things that were in the earlier scheme that we've kept. There's we've an area here for condenser units, which will be screened with shrubs. As well, there's an existing oil tank here, and we're proposing a new outdoor shower here, which will also all be screened with shrubbery. There's an existing garage here. This is the existing garage. It's currently clad with T111 siding, which is not in great shape. We've done a little bit of kind of probing, and found that there's brick underneath. Not really sure the condition of the brick. I think we'll know better when all of the siding comes down. But our plan currently is to keep the brick and either strip it and just kind of keep it as brick, or it's currently painted. And again, the condition is unknown. So I think our plan is to, well, and the other part of the design here is the doors were originally much taller. So we'll be installing new garage doors to the old height. So I think our approach would be to kind of go with this scheme, but once we've uncovered everything, we can kind of recalibrate and come back to you guys for the garage and tell you exactly what we'll
That
do
makes
with the
sense,
brick.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, they're fantastic, the height of it, and yeah, it can be amazing to look industrial and not so good. So yeah, so I think the more you discover, the more it's a high point of the house instead of like, oh well, that's just the garage. It has that potential, so that'd be exciting for us to look forward to the garage thing. So if I understand correctly, we're not going to discuss the garage today. We're just going to focus on the house. Is that correct?
Yes, although I'd love your reactions.
Oh,
you know, if you hate the approach, then
oh yeah, no, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, our preference is we're hopeful that the original brick
is great, and then you just
Yeah.
strip it, and it would be,
Right.
brick.
Yeah.
I'm hedging just a little bit because from what we can see, it looked like maybe they covered it for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's the.
Painters and stuff.
Also, we're proposing a new fence along here. There's some very tall stone retaining walls here with a steep drop. Throughout the site, there are wood rail fences. The rails kind of span between stone piers. And so there would be a post and rail fence on the top of here where the rails would kind of match the old rails, but the posts would be wood. They wouldn't be stone. So that's right there. I have been tinkering since
I think,
yeah.
just to add a note on that, it's like basically there's a cliff at the, it's oriented between the house and the road. Driveway, road, yeah, like on the, I guess that's the western side.
It's a big drop.
Yeah,
off
it's
of the
like a
western
10 to 15 foot drop depending where you are. And it's not fenced right now.
Oh,
So this is like, we need a fence.
and so the specs on the fence, do we have a picture or you were describing it or it's
I
the
described
post?
it basically a wood post and rail fence.
And what does that mean? To be more
It's like a
specific,
split rail fence, but
Split rail,
instead
okay.
of the rails being split, they'd be round.
like the fence,
driveway.
the driveway, and that is metal, that strip, or is it?
No, it's wood.
It's a wood pole.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds important. Yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Since I've submitted these drawings, I've been tinkering. I can't help myself. One of the things that I looked at was let's see. Sorry.
Well, while you're looking, I just want to comment on the shutters.
Yes.
Love those shutters.
I'm glad you like them.
Fantastic.
They're big.
Yeah, no,
And
they're
at first I thought maybe they're like, it took me a little while to get used to them, but the more I've lived with them, the more I really like them.
I mean, they're functional. They're, the dog hand, what do you call them?
Just the dogs.
The dogs, yeah. And they're just, it gives for me, it gives a lot of personality to the house. And so normally shutters like allow an afterthought to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
These are great.
I only wanted to do it if it was functional.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Unlike
Wow.
these,
Yeah.
which are the definition of non-functional.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, those are the skinniest
They're
little
the
shutters I've ever
suggestion
seen.
of a shutter.
But only on some of them, not all.
There you go.
Yeah.
That makes it,
Yeah.
So let's see, this window here looked to me like it needed more presence. This guy here.
Mm-hmm.
So the thought would be to have a pair of
This is the window you don't see as you're driving up. This is the far end of the house. Okay.
yeah. Instead, having a pair of double hung windows with shutters here. Basically, like that instead.
That's lovely.
So that was one.
So this is what you'd like.
Yeah.
The two windows and the shutter
Mm.
instead of.
Instead of basically this.
Okay. Right.
And this seemed like it just wasn't enough. Another small thing, there's a stair here. Right here. Which I think we should remove. It's basically, you guys aren't interested in it. It's not really going to be used. There's an existing sort of makeshift stair. The thought was that we'd make it real, like a real stair, but it's just probably.
So on this side are they French doors? So
they're fixed French doors essentially.
Okay. So it's not, you won't be going in and out there.
Correct. You
Okay.
can, so
Okay.
there'll be wood screen doors that would be fixed, and then the French doors would open in to let air in. But you wouldn't be able to go out.
Okay.
This one you'd be able to go in and out of, but then the rest of them were basically fixed. Another thought was here. So right now, there's a picture of doors coming out of the kitchen. And to sort of balance the composition, we've added a panel here that right here, as if it were a blocked up door or something like that. And the thought was that we'd put a planter here with maybe a trellis on it to allow like plants to kind of grow on the pergola. So they would sort of climb up this section here and then fill out the pergola. So that
Nice.
that was
Is that south facing or?
it's actually north facing. So
Yeah.
but
I'm sure there's something you can find.
yeah, Kate has a green thumb.
Yes.
And the roof is currently asphalt, and you're going to redo the whole thing with asphalt.
Asphalt.
And you don't want to do cedar shake.
We've got sort of fire protection concerns about a wood roof. The color for the roof we're hoping would be like a light gray to sort of simulate a weathered cedar color. So I think that's what.
So basically, this meeting we're giving the direction that that yes, we like this and going the direction.
You may have to hold your nose, but we're hoping that with the asphalt roof, you'd agree to it. Yeah.
And the specs on that and everything that
we'll come back with a spec on it. I do have something here, but we're not locked into anything in particular.
And the colors of the shutters and the cedar shingles you're painting.
Yes.
Did you give us the colors, or is that good? Do you want to give us that later?
I would like to start the conversation.
Right.
So basically, what we're thinking of is a light gray stain on the shingles, like maybe a semi-transparent stain on the shingles, and then white trim, and then a darker color on those shutters, window sash, and pillars. So here's sort of an idea of what starting point. In talking with Dan, I think we want to make this a little bit lighter and less kind of yellowy. And
then that's for the shingles.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the China white is for the.
It'd be the trim.
Uh-huh.
And then the doors, the window sashes, and the shutters would be this ashwood moss. And the front door would be the burgundy color. I think particularly for the stain, I think we need to do samples because it's really hard to tell, particularly like the level of transparency of the stain. Really from this or from the internet or whatever, it's really hard to gauge what what it will really look like. So we'll do a round of sampling and come back with you guys, but wanted to at least get the ball, start discussing the colors and kind of gauge your reaction to the.
For me, I like this. It's quite sexy. It's good. It's a nice combination of colors and palettes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it works well. And I love the front door popping. Is that your idea? I love it.
One question is dormer program, which seems all shoved all the way to the left side with this one particularly large one right on the edge.
Yeah.
And it feels like decision-making that's happened from the inside out, which is understandable up to a point. This is a very aggressive articulation of that principle.
I love it. Because it's
Okay.
asymmetrical and that you can't get around it.
I like
And it's not this
symmetry.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
weighted. There's a weighted to it, and
Mm.
there's an order. I think the spacing you could have spaced it, but I like the proportion of it. It's very thoughtful. I think you've
Well,
thought about
shakana Sangu.
Sorry.
No, it's good. You should articulate what you feel. Anyway, to me, it feels very crowded and awkward. But again, other people think.
It's an interesting point because yes, I mean the house. I've been inside the house, so this is like a double height ceiling. This side, which is why there's nothing there, and it's facing the mountain, and the road. You can't see it. So if this was more street facing, yeah, I would.
Well, that's a good point. You don't see the whole sort of elevation from any point.
Right.
No, it's very, very private.
Right. So it is about the experience from the inside. Yeah.
I think to really make this addition useful, we really had to capture as much floor area as we could. And so I think you're right about coming from the inside out. That's exactly how it happened.
And you didn't need anything over here.
Well, no, I mean, we just are leaving it as it is. Yeah.
Because you have a big window on the side.
We have the big window there. It's a big, open, kind of lofty space. We are, so there's a blank wall here, and we are installing a new pair of doors here. Doors, they don't go anywhere, but so that also not only adds light, but also it gives a kind of good sort of visual connection to the backyard area.
Well, otherwise, to me, it seems really thoughtful and resourceful way of taking something and making something better. So.
Yeah, no, it's great. It has its very strong personality, and because it didn't have much of a personality when you got it, and now you it's great. You do. I think it's going in a great direction. Just the details of the pergola, the column is the pergola. Is that the same column as the entrance, the entryway?
Same. It'll have a plinth, a stucco plinth with a stone cap. So it's kind of up out of the snow, and it'll it also enables us to use the exact same column.
And is it square or is it round?
No, it's round.
It's round.
It would be Chadsworth, sort of their authentic replication series or whatever. It's their Tuscan. It's modeled after the American Vignola Tuscan.
The material is the pergola.
It would be painted wood.
So what about your downspouts? So the next when we finalize it, you'll have all those details.
Yes, they're half round copper. That's right now we're working on half round copper gutters and leaders.
And the lighting as well. You'll get back to
the
us.
lighting. We'll get back to. Right now there are. Let's see. I think I have. This is a kind of beginning of some of the details of the eave details. So currently, the eave is kind of has an aluminum soffit. So we'll be replacing all that stuff. New wood fascia, new tongue and groove soffit with a little vent, copper gutter, and round leaders. This is the skirt board. Skirt board here. And then corner boards. Sorry. So that's the kind of beginning of some of the details. You asked me a question.
The electrics, the
the lighting. So currently there are existing sconces by the front door, which we'll replace and we'll give you a spec next time. We'll have new sconces by the back door. And again, we'll give you a spec. So those are basically the two lighting elements.
Excellent. So any other questions or
No, I think it's really a great improvement.
did you want us
Right
to give
direction.
you some feedback on the garage or some, or is
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever, any thoughts would be welcome.
does the airstream get inside?
Well, actually, it might.
The tall doors would fit it, but the thing is, I mean, you're really good at parking that thing, but for me, I would never get it in the garage. Yeah, the turning radius and stuff isn't
Right.
like,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you would get it to work, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just yeah, no, I'm just very much looking forward to seeing what you do with the garage because you've done a great job with this. So it'll be. Do you have a name for the house yet? Have you?
Well, I mean, it's literally our.
Oh,
We have, I don't
The
know,
real one.
between the ruins in the back, yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Back.
Yeah, it's like part of the building,
Cool.
yeah. You know, it'll,
Yeah, it's like it's a whole facade of.
It's
you
amazing.
have like windows of it.
And I think there's some images there of some of the stonework. It's really, yeah.
That's the best part.
Oh,
So we do that.
excellent. Yeah, no, so we're excited. Yeah, it's looking great.
You guys want this? I didn't submit this with everyone else.
We should have.
Yeah.
So-
We'll give it for.
And then the colors, should I submit this as well? Or,
If that's what you want, then
I mean,
submit
it's
it.
sort of in flux. It's not,
So well, if it's in flux,
Yeah,
then
get
yeah.
it finished.
But yeah, we're giving you good feedback. That palette's very nice, and and
great.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that mean we're good on the, I don't know what the procedure is.
Well, no, we're not voting on anything. We're giving you just feedback that yeah, we love it, and so come back with the details the specifics we've asked for, then we can vote on it and
And you'll be on your way.
yeah. But it's it's very good. As I say, it's so helpful having the maquette and it is a big concern that Rob brought up, that heavy because your bedroom, the master bedroom, is going to be filled with light and those big windows. But it's if it was made smaller and matched the other one, it'd be too matchy, and so it really has a strong identity. And yeah, so it's it kind of funny. It works in a funny way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
or
Great. You would like to welcome up the fifth applicant, the Lokitis.
Back again for a third time.
Good evening.
Good evening. Would like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Tara Vincenta of Artemis Landscape Architects. And this is Tyler Ballo. He's been before you a couple of times. I think there were some meeting or two where I couldn't make it.
Neil Young
The
from Black House
architect.
Studio, the architect. Right, excellent.
We're here to talk about the landscaping tonight.
Great.
So we have a rather robust native perimeter planting plan. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it.
Mhm.
But you can see that everything listed here is spring. So all of this will be very beneficial to native creatures and create nice flora and fauna here. With I can read upside down, I think. Service berries, red maples, Juniperus virginiana, Tupelo, Nyssa sylvatica, two different kinds of oak, white and scarlet, and a pin oak, and eastern arborvitae. The neighbors requested some screening over here, so we have
located this where we believe they can best be planted because it's quite rocky over here. And it's in between, the pool and that neighbor's property. And then that is supported by different layers of shrubs. So we have clethra, as well as ilex, itea, kalmia, rhododendron maximum, just green some of the pool equipment and create more layers in here. Viburnum dentatum. I'm saying the Latin names. I hope that's okay.
Oh, we love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know
It's
your audience.
Arrowwood viburnum. Okay. And then underneath that, we have some native grasses, as well as for texture, as well as some herbaceous perennials and ferns. So this creates a very rich environment all on the edges of the property here, and really creates quite an enhancement from what was existing. And then I believe you also asked if this so that we were getting closer to the home. So these are all not strictly natives, but also beautifully designed, thoughtful plantings that give the client a little more color and variety. Some of what's here is existing, which will remain. There's some nice holly hedge here that we're going to keep. Some lilac shrubs, a maple tree here. This is a pine that the clients are very attached to, relocating a maple that they have right now down here to sort of grace the boulders and things in this area. And these are also existing viburnum that they will keep. And so these are images of the native plants that we just reviewed on the perimeter. So the serviceberry, red maple, dogwood, junipers, Nyssa sylvatica, oaks, the shrubs, and as well as a couple of grasses, Deschampsia, one of my favorites, and switchgrass, which will do well here, as well as New York fern and hay-scented fern. And then these are some of the native perennials. So we have swamp milkweed, Joe pie weed, aster, and echinacea.
What a feast.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It should be very, very lovely. And then this is the full property plant list. So this has both what is the comprehensive list for everything. So
It looks great, except there's one species there that sticks out like a sore thumb. It's a regulated, it's an invasive. It's the miscanthus, the Chinese.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did put that in because the client had requested that, but we can.
It's regulated, so yeah, and we spent thousands of dollars eradicating it at the Racetrack Nature Preserve, and so if that
Put
could,
some great switchgrass in.
Yeah,
or
we'll
something.
just make it panicum. How's that? Okay.
Or just-
It is a lovely, the variety morning light is lovely, but we can definitely change that out for you.
No, that's the problem. Yeah, it's so nice and so popular, and it just spreads. It's
Good eye officer.
If I was a dragon, that would be my name.
You did find the one thing, didn't you? That's okay.
Yeah, no, the rest was.
But honestly, I appreciate that that you pointed that out because I've been at this for so long. That's one thing that I didn't even realize was on a invasive.
No, it's regular.
species
Yes,
list.
it's not prohibited, but it's the next step.
Oh,
below,
I see.
Regulated.
It's
yeah,
regulated.
Regulated.
They recommend that you refrain from using it,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
and
No problem.
I have a question about the trees. When we did the visit, there were a certain number, small teens of trees that were tagged. So what's the status on the?
Yeah, so we have the arborist report. I have this in my bag right here.
we had an arborist come out to take a look and review the existing trees and the health of the trees. I know Neil and John walked the site back in after Thanksgiving to take a look at the list of trees that the arborist reported on his list here of unhealthy trees. And here was a plan that was also submitted to John, and I believe the board as well, that was submitted and reviewed on site of the trees that were unhealthy that needed to be taken down, transplants and removals of where obviously where the
So this
construction
was
is
signed
happening.
off on before the project got underway. So as you probably noticed when you're out there, the pool is under construction. They got pretty far with that. But there, at the beginning, there were some questions about some of the trees that the client wanted to take down. So he had an arborist review everything. And so that is the list and the letter, and everything has been accounted for. And the 3 very large spruces that were where the pool is were relocated, and they transplanted very well this fall. Mhm.
How old were they?
You know, Dan and Lisa planted those.
Okay, so maybe
Yeah,
10 years.
so not that old, but
Still
they were,
about 25 to 30 footers.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were
very
pretty
large. It
big
was
trees.
impressive to see them transplanted, and they're doing very well.
yeah, so they were able to move those.
So so from the arborist list, it's just saying they're dead, still dead,
Dead.
decaying, whatever. So, and it's a certified arborist. So, and you have a few trees that you're replacing them with, but it's like 17 trees. I was wondering if
Well, they were dead,
right.
most of them, but so we do have in total, I believe
27
27
trees that
trees.
we will be planting.
Yeah.
Versus the 17 that were accounted for as dead. So we're
That are
coming back with
diseased.
20 or diseased, excuse me, and we're coming back with 27
Okay, good.
native plants, trees that will be
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. The other thing I just wanted to point out was that I think in the last submission, there were some lighting fixtures that the client had finally selected. There are no uplights on the plan. So this is really just the last piece, is the planting.
So just on that point, did we approve the lighting and the fencing the last time, or?
Yeah.
I believe you guys did. You requested cut sheets and the details, which there have been submitted as well. Here are the details of the
fencing.
decorative fencing.
That was the one you had preferred.
Yeah.
So we,
Right, I mean,
it's just my memory's so bad. John, are we?
I don't remember if we approved the fencing at the last meeting. Or at the last time they were here. I know it wasn't the last meeting.
It was my understanding that the only outstanding remaining thing was just the planting, to review the planting.
And I think that's true.
Mhm.
Okay.
At the last meeting, we described the fencing, and I think there was a request to see a detail of what that looks like.
There were 2 options, one with a rail, one without, and we
Right,
liked
we decided to go with this fence, for the decorative fence.
And then this is the legal fence to around the pool.
Right.
4 foot
4
pool
foot.
enclosure,
Right.
4 foot in height.
And any spring loaded gates, whatever.
Right.
It's inside the detail for the gate is right above
Okay.
here. Sorry.
Right. Okay, there we go. Cedar frame, wire mesh, and the color of the wire is it black or is it?
It's black.
Okay. And then the deer fencing.
Is pretty standard deer fencing. It has a wire across the top so that it can, and the bottom to give it more strength. And it has a pool code rated mesh on it
Okay.
so that it can
Meet the requirements.
meet the requirements.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any other questions or concerns. Anybody else?
No,
Yeah.
no, it looks very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like to make a motion for the Locaitis Residence, 16 Brook Road, with landscape architect Artemis plan date, number L-400.0 dated 31st of December 2025 of the rear native wood and perimeter planting plan, L-400.1. L-401.0. L-402.0 with the miscanthus deleted from the planting. L-501.0, the lighting with the
Half and stuff.
path and stopping with it. And what is the lumens?
700.
Sky.
Dark sky come up.
Okay. And the fence details L-801.0. Deer fencing L-802.0. And I think
This is
this
just-
was done.
This was before.
This was approved before.
Yeah.
Well, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the transplants.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
The final applicant, if you'd like to.
I have a supplemental to the package that you received earlier.
Like to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Again, my name is Neil Young with Black House Studio.
Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
Do you have a seat?
I've emailed this to John also, just so there's a digital copy floating around there somewhere. So hopefully everyone's seen the property at 75.
Can't miss it.
Yeah. Our goal here is to
transformation.
bring this, to a respectable piece of architecture that fits within the context of the park. We're going with a sort of a Tudor style cottage, and keeping with what we're not changing about this house is the footprint of the house or the second floor fenestration diagram. The first floor fenestration diagram is not good. I don't know where it came from, but the 3 foot by 4 foot windows on the front facade don't work very well. And so the idea here is to create something that feels like it was purposeful and would have been designed at the outside of this building. Regarding the sort of exterior materiality, the plan is for a cottage style stucco, which is has more of a textured look. Ideally, it would be a sand colored natural stucco with a timber post and beam style pattern for the wood beams, and those would be custom milled beams that would. The intent is to replicate a post and beam, so have connections that feel like Morse and tenon connections, chamfer the edges. The wood itself would be a little bit proud of the stucco, so we can have those chamfer edges and to feel like traditional post and beam cottage. In terms of the windows, what I submitted initially was a clad window. A wood clad window with a cottage style divide pattern, similar to like what you would expect to see from an old traditional window that would have like as many divides as were shown. We are proposing an asphalt roof. And I have some samples. I'll just go back here and grab 3 of them quickly.
Got them here, Nate.
Oh, right here. So the intent for these, this is the preferred material color. It's shake wood. It from obviously it doesn't, when you look at it close, does not look like cedar shake, but from a distance has a texture, quality, and color that's reminiscent of a cedar shake roof. This was an alternative, which is more of a weathered cedar look.
Which do you all prefer?
I prefer
this one,
the shake wood. It really does feel like like especially from the street level feels more of like a cedar shake roof. I've used this on other buildings before that to try to keep it looking more natural, and this has a better effect than the darker version. I think especially in this.
Is it darker or gray?
The other one's darker and grayer.
Oh, it is
and
darker, yeah.
like the effect that I
No, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it feels a little more like
You
very
wish, you
aged.
wish they hadn't darkened it so
Yeah.
much, but
Yeah.
blended a little bit of the red, but
I think this one is like it almost replicates like a cedar roof that's been sitting in a
on
in
the
a
north
camp.
side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, vast improvement from what it was.
Yeah.
I appreciate you appreciate that. The comments that I had with you, I think you've answered some of them. What would be great would be to have after the meeting tonight with all the feedback to have some sort of not mock-up necessarily, but like it.
We have a mock-up in process for the
Okay,
stucco
okay,
and the
great.
timbers.
Yeah, to see that because
Yeah.
in theory it looks great, but and we have a high level of confidence with you guys, but it could go the other way and look like a house like in Renaissance Fair,
Yeah,
that sort
yeah.
of thing. So it's
The plan is again, like I said, to make those timbers will have to be milled specifically to this house and chamfer the edges and give them some prominence so that they don't feel like a 1x2 or a 1x12 that was just glass stuck on the house and stuck right up to. That's not the intent here.
the other two comments that I had was the door. Going in and out of the door without some sort of protection. It would be great to see something there because I'm sure
There's currently a Penty roof over the front door. But it also, my personal thought about that is it creates like an awkward element on the front of the house. I understand that to have an overhang on this might be beneficial. So I'd like to get your thoughts on whether that, is like a shed roof.
A shed roof with a little support would look
Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
And you'd take some of that, so it would come down from that beam.
Yeah, I
giving
would probably remove the transom window or at least have it, have to minimize it.
Yeah, I think
to
a
make that
very
work.
arts and crafts sort of shed roof with
Okay.
a nice sort of chunky, what do you call it? The
bracket thing.
bracket.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it could be bracketed off the building,
Yep,
right? That would be
absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, no, that would be so appropriate. I mean, that's a bit, and we had to have that as part of the initial design, so it's not later on that
Right.
you say "Oh, we need something and you add it as an
Right,
afterthought,
right.
So and then the water
stone
table,
water,
yeah. I mean that's the thing that is just so difficult to do. That's not looking brand new. Obviously, it's important
Yeah.
to have it. So if there's, it's always a problem. It's always a challenge of how to make it that it looks. So do you have any other thoughts on that or input about or success stories of what you've done in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. First of all, picking the right stone is going to be important. These are not going to. It's not. Oftentimes, when it looks brand new, it's because it's a combination of using synthetic stone that the mortar joints don't look very nice. I think what I'd like to explore with that is to be in keeping with Tuxedo Park is to find more of like a rounded stone that feels like it belongs in this area. The challenge to that is that you want to have a square, like a shelf for the water to drain off of the top.
Right.
So we need to explore that with like some sort of stone top edge that would allow for that to happen. In this situation specifically, it would be very crucial for that because we don't want to trap water against the house.
Right.
The purpose of this water table is there's two parts of it. One is it feels like it needs a base. The other part is I think the current framing is sitting on a concrete slab at the grade. And I'm nervous, and I know Paul is too, about what we're going to find when we start removing that T111 siding and we don't know what is underneath it.
You're likely right about the slab. Just part of the problem we've had with the piece at the bottom is that you're not giving it much height to accommodate a stone that's in scale and proportion to the size of the house.
Right. Yeah. I was trying to stay, so
I don't know what the number is, but that looks very, very short.
it's about 18 inches.
Oh, that's 18 inches?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the current, there's the first floor level is 18 inches above the existing foundation slab. And so I'm bringing that water table up to meet the first floor level.
I didn't realize it was that proud.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I think when you, depending on where you are, the back side of the house, it changes a little bit because the grade goes up on the back side of the house and is a little bit higher. So that water table would be less visible on the back side of the house. On Clubhouse Road, it's like that's where you'd see the most of it.
Also, I discussed with the architect and the property owner using a tank on the steel. Charlotte is gonna be making everything in the house electric, so the tanks will go away.
Okay. Well, the other feedback I have, I'm going to plagiarize a word that my colleague used, chunky. The
Chunky monkey, to be specific.
Those are chunkier than I wanted them to be, and you'll see in the rendering that I created, actually minimize those to be.
Oh, I wanted to go the other way.
Oh, you want to
Yeah,
give
I mean, to give, it seems a little bit, flimsy, and I mean, it's not flimsy is not the word, but
I want some timber frame up there.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to strike the balance on this building because it is a diminutive structure in terms of the nature of it versus some of the other larger scale Tudor style houses with much thicker beams and more crenellation and detail. I was trying to keep this a little bit more simplified, but that's something that we can certainly explore. I think the current the layout for those is that they're really thin. It's really just whatever the roofing material like. I imagine it's tongue and groove or a beadboard sort of material on top of the rafters that overhangs a little bit, and so there's very little depth to those things.
I'd almost, just me, but I'd make these dormers wood, not stucco. You can go in it completely if you, kind of, and that would give it a different kind of weight.
Yeah.
It'd be heavier than stucco.
That'll be easier to do, for sure.
And
I agree totally.
then, and it wouldn't be so punchy a little bit.
Would you recommend that they be they could either be like a clapboard or they could be a vertical, a vertical board. That's the question that I would ask next.
Oh, yeah, like board and batten, or what do you mean by vertical?
Like a vertical board could either be like a tongue and groove, like 6-inch wide board panels with like a V groove sort of.
Something just almost like flush boards.
Yeah.
Notion.
Not a modern nickel gap or anything like that, but something that feels in kind to the structure. There is on the interior, there is a fair amount of the old beadboard that was. I mean, the interior probably was all clad with beadboard when the building was original. Most of it has been removed. It's been left to a small area now, but I would look at that as
I think that's a really good edit.
Okay.
Then you get the color of the trim. It would all kind of, and then work with the roof. It would kind of be, because it's its own thing in a way. And then it would sort of kind of support the heavy timber.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I was looking at a few different options for the dormers specifically.
Chairman Gow, I think one of the neighbors is on the Zoom. Comments from the public.
Are we done with ours?
Any other comments from us?
No more questions. I was a little curious about two things. So on the east elevation, the terrace, where you call it, the deck.
deck, yeah.
Wondering whether the two columns that are square, I assume.
They're square, but they would have, again, like to match to match the sort of the timber look of the faux posts and beams, they would be chamfered as well.
They appear to be significantly thinner than the timbering.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. And that's absolutely something that I would.
Wondering, I'm not quite even sure what to suggest or what comes to mind, but it looks a little bit rickety relative to the.
Yeah, I'll admit it's an afterthought and hearing.
Is there a way to resolve at the joint maybe with nothing quite as
I think they
deliberate or-
should be thicker, and I think we should do similar to the beams around the rest of the house.
like a modified version of that?
Yeah, and have a cross, like a little bit of a cross
Right.
brace
Yeah.
to match the aesthetic of the rest of the house.
So that was one thing. And then the north and south, I was just curious about, particularly in the north, whether it wasn't a missed opportunity to continue your program in the center. There's a big expanse of.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I also because it conflicts with that window. It does create it creates a strange artifact when you do it. I had studied that.
Even if it was resolved right at that moment.
Yeah,
If it
I
didn't
mean,
go any further.
it's almost like you really want to divide that into 3 bays instead of
Mhm.
2. When you divide it into 2,
Mm.
it conflicts with the window is what happens.
In other words, having two.
2 bays, yeah, like the front facade has like 3 bays,
right.
and I had tried a 2-bay approach on the side because that feels like the scale of it, but
And what about a three? Or is that too much then?
the 3-bay conflicts with the window locations, because then the windows they're not centered in the bays. They would have to be shifted, which does create a problem on the interior.
It may be
program.
academic anyway. You might be planting something.
Yeah, I mean, the north side specifically has large trees on the street
Mhm.
right against that facade. So it's visible, but it's less visible than what you see on
Right.
the elevation.
I'm just seeing it sort of baldly on
Right.
page whatever. I think it's kind of a miraculous transformation. Altogether.
I don't want to call it lipstick on a pig. It's-
Yeah,
I mean, what's
no, because
there
it's
now?
better than that.
Right, yeah.
You're retrieving something.
Yes, that
saving
was the
it.
goal, is to really transform this thing into something that feels, like I said, is compatible with the
In
architecture.
dialogue with some of the other buildings on the road.
Oh, yeah, there are a number
Across
of
the
these.
street, there's-
Yeah, there's a number of Tudor style, like this, very similar style to this on that street that I was sort of picking up on to replicate.
Should we discuss any of the trees, the taller trees that might be overhanging the house at this point? I'd hate to see something fall, after the renovation. Is there anything? I know in the past, some things have been removed on that property because there was a concern about danger. Is there anything else that's looming over this house that we should address formally?
Yeah, I mean, my 2 visits there, I noticed that the backyard is primarily evergreens. And so I didn't notice anything that looks like in the jeopardy of falling over.
Talking of the vegetation in the front there, in front of the water table, the suggestion there would be something like inkberry. Which is
Yeah.
great because it's native and also doesn't grow dramatically. So it's everything. So that would work well there. Any other questions from us before we go to the person on the Zoom?
No questions.
Yeah, if you'd like to identify yourself on Zoom and if you have any comments or questions. Tiffany, did you have any questions?
No, I'm all set. I just wanted to listen in. It's down the street, aka in my backyard. So I just wanted to hear the plans.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, thank you for zooming in. And we have this was the stable, the carriage house for Mr. Cutting.
Oh,
That's where That you have the main house,
I
yeah,
have
so,
the summer home.
yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I would love to see some pictures of, I could not find any pictures of this in its original state before the T111 was added to it. So I'm actually curious to know if it was a like what the siding material was, if it was cedar shake or
Ours is shingle. It's
Oh,
got
okay.
lots of lattice.
That's kind of what I thought, that just picking up on some of the things that I've seen on the inside. The rear deck, one of the details that I did want to do for the railing was a lattice to make it feel more like a trellis than a deck. It's a small deck. We're actually shrinking the size of what it currently is and removing the stair that goes from the second floor down to the grade.
And if you grow beetroots in the garden, that would be an ode to Mr. Cutting, because he made money from beetroots. And that's interesting. Any other questions or concerns? I think, yeah, no, they're going in the right direction. Absolutely. So you get back to
There are some concerns, obviously, about the structure, and I don't know if the board is content on giving some type of approval to start doing some of the structural work, as long as you're in agreement with the overall plan and dormer layout, window layout.
The windows, you gave specs for the windows, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sorry, that's an important point. Those they're aluminum windows clad with.
So the specs that I had provided are for a it's Anderson FiberX. It's a fiberglass composite at the exterior. So it's not painted. It's a combination of fiberglass and wood, basically. And the detailing for it is based off of like a historic like Harb profiles. And then the color would be they call it dark bronze, so it's a darker, like a dark brown, basically. And then the divides are what they call a simulated divide. I don't know if these windows are simulated or not, but it's a divide on the material on the exterior and the interior. So it's wood on the interior, whatever the exterior material is, which in this case is a FiberX, and then a spacer between those, so it feels like a true divide.
Well, it's nice for you being inside, but for us on the outside, being so close to it, I was wondering if you could, do something better than those windows. Is there?
Yeah, so I looked at an alternative that would be it. It's called we looked at it, actually talked to John. There's a couple options. There's a company called Lincoln Windows that makes a true wood window. So the exterior would be wood with the exception of the sill. Most of the window manufacturers don't want to have a wood sill because that's where it's, conditioned. It's the primary for rot. So the alternative would be like a wood window with it's basically a wood sill, but they coat it in vinyl so that it doesn't rot.
So what are your thoughts on that, Mr. Architect?
Well, Marvin makes I've got two Marvin new casements, wood inside and out. I've always been worried about cladding wood. And I know maybe it's improved over time, but I've been in a lot of houses and torn out a lot of windows that were clad and they were rotten on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So cladding wood, I wouldn't think would be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but a wood window would be great.
Yeah, we can. We had talked about that. We can certainly source
a
wood window and then come back to you with a specific spec and hopefully even like a corner section to show what that would look like.
So yours is Marvin?
Marvin, yeah.
Yeah, Marvin makes a good wood window. They also have a clad window that's generally it's like a historic preservation. Like rated window. But those are both. I mean, the clad one is not what we'd be looking at. We'd be looking at a true wood window.
Yeah, I think they make a double hung. It's an ultimate, I think, is the window type. Yeah, casement and a double hung. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say one thing about the second floor in the dormers specifically, the size of the window. There's no double hung that I can find that will have an egress that's like egress compliant. So the dormer windows will all have to be a casement window to make them egress.
Are there any other points missing, John?
Discuss the roof. Did we discuss gutters or leader pipe?
All of the gutters and all of the trim will be like a dark bronze color material. So it will be a painted finish, like a Kynar finish, but a dark bronze to match the window color.
But what material?
It's a metal material. It's a metal that's got a Kynar finish, which is just almost like a powder coating.
Aluminum or something, probably, or
What's that?
aluminum or wood?
It's usually steel.
Steel. Okay.
So the gutters will be steel with a Kynar finish that's a dark bronze, which again, the goal is that it looks like aged bronze.
Lighting? Did we discuss lighting?
The only exterior lighting would be a wall sconce on the front and on the back. We have to pick a very specific fixture, but it's going to be a low light level, dark sky compliant. If I had my druthers, I would want to make it a gas lamp, but I don't know if that's possible on this street because I don't think we have gas service.
If we're updating the electric service, we're just a little sensitive that it's not on the front facade. I don't know if you're
Correct.
updating the service, if you
The
discussed
service
that with
would,
O&R,
so
your
the
electrician.
the goal for this is to the back corner of the house is where the mechanical room is going to be, and so the service will be on the back corner of that house too. It's also the least visible from any street or neighbor because it's where the landscape comes closest to the house.
So it's the back corner near the parking.
Correct. Yeah. That would be the south east.
Yeah.
And the bluestone paving I saw looked very where is it?
On the last page of that there's a sheet that shows it. So it would be like a field, like a far side flagstone, which is usually the colors vary between, they go from a little bit of bluish to a little bit of rust colored.
And you'll keep, so the random and a little bit, so it doesn't look brand spanking new.
Correct. Yeah. The idea would be, I mean, if we could find even more rugged pieces that are, broken on the edges, that would be sort of the ideal. The current front walkway is brick. It's a brick walkway that leads to a exposed concrete stoop. So our goal is to replace that with a fieldstone pathway.
Any vent pipe, any sanitary stacks, can we do that in black or copper or whatever?
Absolutely, yeah. I would want to do those in the same, like the same dark bronze
Yeah.
finish, and they all would be located on the back side of the roof.
This is, are you planning to move in or rent it? Oh, okay.
I'm glad to move in.
Oh, okay, excellent. We love that. And
Do we want to talk ridge vents or anything? What are your plans? The board typically doesn't like to see a pronounced ridge vent. Do you know what's required or what your plans are?
So if we do my goal would be to do we're going to need to spray foam for insulation because we don't have the depth that we would need for energy code. So that means that we don't need to rent, we can't vent the roof because there won't be a
Okay.
pathway.
All right,
So we won't have.
They have no ridge vent. Good.
Right.
Takes care of that. Took care of the electric, took care of the oil tank, took care of some of the landscaping.
and your parking is on the side.
It's correct. It's on the south side, sorry.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, there is some concern about the structure. I don't know if the board is comfortable, with them coming back on some of these finer points later. Or at least giving them some approval to start doing some mock-ups and securing the house. See what's under the texture 111.
You mean the structural integrity of the existing building?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there are elements of this house that are, the roof itself is literally starting to like sag. So our goal is to get some sort of approval to get started so that we can shore up some of these things and start, discovering the what's underneath the exterior
And the
cladding.
design remains the same,
Yes.
whatever. you-
Oh, yeah.
As long as the board's comfortable with the
Sure.
design,
I love it.
the window and door locations and the deck, the main principles of the house, and then maybe come back in April.
Yeah, we can come back with with a more detailed window profile and or sample and any other samples, like any other details that you're looking for, like the stucco and the timber together, so you can see what that will look like.
Yes, and I think we're comfortable to make a motion to, you can move forward with the renovation, demolition, whatever, of the property, 75 Clubhouse Road. And that you would come back with us with more detailed specs about the wood windows, the stucco, create a mock-up so that we can view that, and the colouring, the electrics, and all the details that were discussed, but to move ahead with the discovery process to see what you need to do for with Black House Studio. And on the sheets presented to the bar dated February 2nd, 2025.
Sorry, 2026.
2026. Bar 2, bar 3. Bar 4, by 5, by 6, by 7. So a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very
that
much,
is-
guys.
They'll be lovely, yeah. And you've done good work in the park already, right?
Yeah, we've done a few.
Excellent. Well, it has the tuxedo patina that we like.
Yeah,
So
very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think Paul had mentioned he's working on another tutor that has some of this character.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, right, yeah. It's I can see where you got your inspiration.
Yeah, no, I love it.
There is one other topic. I know it's not on the agenda, but at least I'll hear. Paul owns the vacant property across the street from Matthew Teneri, where there's the two ham radio towers that are up there.
Oh, right.
In accordance with the village code, it's essentially a vacant lot, and these types of things would go to the planning board. But there is an aesthetic to it, the removal of these two towers. And I don't know if both boards want to approve the removal of the towers, or if you think it's just a planning board issue. The only real issue is having a demolition sequence that either the planning board or your board would approve. And you can think about it in the next couple weeks. But they're in the process of submitting an application to remove those aerial towers.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. The way they're removed is perfectly safe and respectful of the
And I could just send it
terrain.
to the planning board because it essentially is almost a vacant property. There's no structure, there's no architecture per se. But I at least want to make the board aware of it.
Right. No, yeah. So you're planning to take them down, right?
I'm planning to take them down, yeah.
Well, that's keep them up. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
And that was Hazard Reeves, right? They put those up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. No, they were all over the house, I think. They had in all of the garden and everywhere. He was some electrifying character. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Yes.
Okay,
Look
thank
forward
you.
to,
Thanks very much, guys. Have a good evening.
You too. So all that remains now is for the approval of the minutes. The January the 5th Board of Architecture review meeting. Have we all had an opportunity to read the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Any changes, questions? No, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 5th, 2026 bar meeting. Second? All in favour?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. And I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting at 7:26.
Long as we have one.
Last, yeah. Second? All in favour?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, Desiree.
Thank
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Desiree.
Good night.